Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. Let me know when you come on. I'm Teresa with Teresa Rene Art, and I'm streaming live with you today from Atlanta, Georgia, in the USA, over on the Pentart Facebook page. We're going to be doing a fun summer decoupage hat, baseball hat. So come on in, join me. Make sure to say hello. Let me know when you come on. If you are watching replay, make sure to type in hashtag replay for our friends in at Pentart so they know you were here. We are going to be doing super fun project today. I'm going to show you the one. This is one that I did last week. My friend and I, friend Robin from Robin's Song, we did this on a joint live together. So it is a decoupage baseball hat. And we're going to be doing something very similar, but we're going to be using a summer theme to do kind of a similar thing. Hello, Kavajne. Hello, Cindy. Hello. So welcome, everybody. Come on in. We're going to go for about an hour today. And I have picked out the papers and sort of done a few things in advance. So hope you guys are doing well. How is the weather where you're at? It is getting very hot here, super warm. And my kids are at Vacation Bible School this week, so I expect them to come home anytime. So if you hear a ruckus, that's what's happening. Hello, Erzsébet. How are you? Nice to see you. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a decoupage hat. And this is the one that I made previously. So we're going to be doing something very similar to this. Okay. We're going to be using the fabric decoupage varnish and glue for textile. We're going to be using this. We're probably going to be using the fabric paints too. And we're going to be using a glue gun. I'm going to, because I have an hour, I am going to turn my screen down and go ahead and get started. If you know somebody who should be here watching, please feel free to share it out and tag a friend and ask them to come join us. Okay, so in fact, while we're doing that, what I may do is I'm just going to share this over onto my page as well. So give me one moment, please. Here we go. I'm going to share this onto my page as well. Come over and join us. Okay, so get that sprinkled out. All right. So this is a hat. This is a white baseball cap. Did you buy one, Christina? That's awesome. So we're going to do another one. This time we're going to do kind of more of a summer theme with some of the beach papers, because I don't know about you, but part of our summertime routine, or kind of like usually around Labor Day, my family and I, we always take a beach vacation. And I'm always wear baseball hats when I'm out in the sun or on the beach. And so we're going to do another one with a beach theme. So let me show you on the live that I did. I did this live with my friend last week. And I struggled a little bit with cutting out my templates. So we're going to be doing 6 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had struggled a little bit with that, but I'm going to show you an easier way to kind of take care of that. So, and how to make these templates. Okay. So if you take a little bit of carbon paper and you put your baseball hat down, face down like that. And if you have like some sort of stylus or tool that has a point on it that's not going to leave a mark, you can trace out your template on the inside. So here I'm taking, making sure that I'm holding the whole thing in place, and I'm taking and kind of taking the impression as I'm holding it and tracing the outline of that shape. And then when I pull this up, you can see I have my little triangle, which you can then cut out and use to trace the shapes of your rice paper. So that's kind of how I would go about tracing my template. And then of course the one on the back, the size is a little bit different. So you can trace this one and then flip it over for the other side. So that's what I did. I have already, in the interest of time, I have already traced and cut out my shapes. I did not use fabric medium on this. And I also did get a little, this is like an insert that you can actually wear this. It's like a hard insert for the baseball hat, but the shape of it is perfect. And I got this on Amazon for $5. So it's going to make this a little bit easier to manage. So I've already traced out my shapes, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to kind of show you the papers that I'm using. So we've got a few in the Decoupage Queen line that are sea themed related. Greetings from the Seaside, Another Day in Paradise, Beach House Memories, and the other one that I used, which is really fun and goes super well with this, is one of the Andy Skinner papers. And I can't remember the name of this. I think it's, where's the paper? I don't know what the name of it is, but this is from last season's Andy Skinner. And it actually goes really well with these beach themed papers. So we're going to do those. And again, I've already cut this out. I didn't put any fabric medium on this, you guys. So it's just a blank, and I haven't washed it or anything. You can see back here when I used that carbon paper, I accidentally had it on the wrong side. So I got it a little bit dirty, but that's okay because we're going to decoupage right over that. Okay, so I've got my little pieces already cut, and I have already sort of figured out where I'm going to put them. And you can see the baseball cap, it has these seams, which is why we're kind of cutting it in this triangular shape. When I did the rice paper, I actually tore the rice paper so that I would get these little edges. Okay. And you can see that that looks pretty good. That's going to fit pretty well. And then this one is going to go right next to it. So we're going to start gluing these on one at a time. We'll see how far we get in the hour. But that's why I'm kind of diving right in so that we can get ourselves going. This is the glue that I'm using. This is the Pentart Decoupage Varnish and Glue for textile. And having this little form on here really, really helps quite a lot. Oh, that's got... My daughter cleans my brushes. She didn't do a very good job on this because it's got some paint coming off. So I'm going to change my brush here and switch to this one. All right. So you want a decent amount of product on there, and you're going to do this kind of in a sandwich. So you're putting the product on, and then you're going to apply the paper. And then you are going to, and you're going to make sure that gets on there really nice. And then you are going to come back over the top. And if I have a little bit of white showing from the baseball cap, it's fine because I'm going to actually use a little bit of fabric paint to touch up anything that might be showing. Hey, Trina, how are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for Sprinkling, sprinkling, sharing the love. All right, so this is going to come back over the top. And we're going to seal that down nice and good. You only really need to seal this during this step. You don't need to come in and seal this again because this stuff is pretty hardy. It does need, this product does need to be heat set. So usually what I do with it is I have got this little mini Cricut iron, and I will take that and heat set with that. So this is going much better with the template and the little hat form. This is a much easier way. And like I said, I got this little hat form on Amazon. I'll show it to you again in just a second because I know we've got some people coming on a little bit late. I'm doing great. It's, you know, it is a beautiful Thursday afternoon. And I am here, and I am ready to craft with y'all and just doing my thing with you guys. So how are you guys doing? Anybody doing anything fun today? Any plans for the weekend? We're right there at it. We are, so I know a couple of you watch my Saturday series. We're doing all of our awesome Pentart products. I know some of you do watch my Saturday series. I actually will not be live this Saturday. I am headed to South Carolina to go see my granddaughter. So Nancy will be with you on Saturday covering velvet powder. She is much more experienced with velvet powder than I am. So you're in very, very good hands with her. All right. And I will be live again tonight. I'm going to be working on, this one is project by request. One of my viewers requested that I use a particular paper. So this is what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm going to be working with viewer's choice paper. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start drying this. I'm going to take my dryer and dry this a little bit before I move on. Oops, got a little flap down here. It's important to make sure you have everything kind of tucked in and sealed down all the way around. All right, let's dry this. I am, Christina, I'm only going to use it for touch-up. I'm not going to be painting any designs. I'm just going to kind of be touching up with it. I've seen several of the Pentart creators have done some pretty amazing projects with that fabric paint, including Jill, who's on. But the challenge was to do some shoes. Now, I didn't do any shoes, but several of the Pentart creators did, and they've done some pretty fabulous things with it. So there's plenty of good stuff out there. I'm going to be doing this one kind of the same way I did my shabby chic. I'm doing the decoupage, and then I'm going to be using the fabric paint for touch-up. And then I'm going to be hot gluing some trim on it. And the reason I'm drying right now is so that I can continue around the shape of the hat without worrying about touching it and stuff. Christina, it really would. I actually did this with a class. I had some people, local people in Atlanta came and did this with me, and Robin was actually one of them. So that's how she was like inspired to do another one. But the one that she was wearing was one that she did with me. I think it's a great summer project. It really is. It's an awesome, super fun summer project that comes out so cool. And it's really like a conversation starter when you're wearing it. Because of course, it's a very unique finished project that nobody's ever seen before, you know. All right, so let's start with this one. Let's bring this down. And you can see I am actually using quite a bit of glue. I'm getting it good and saturated before I stick that paper on, because I really want it to adhere. And I'm just kind of making sure it's all smoothed out. I'm not worried about the holes. The paper is just going to go right over the holes. So I'm not worried about that at all. So you can see having that template really helps with the shapes to get them consistent and correct. It's going on much easier than it did the other night ago. So being prepared helps. You know, when you only have 1 hour on a live, you have to be as prepared as possible. Okay. All right, so that's good and covered. And then we'll come over here and do this side. And this one says another day in paradise. And having this little form helps tremendously too. This is the form I was talking about, you guys. It's a little baseball cap insert. You know, when I taught the class, I charged $35, which probably, in my opinion, is not enough for the amount of time and effort and products that you're using. Because I probably spent, you know, probably $20 on per student on the supplies. So I think it depends on your market too, you know, so it depends on. So what I would say, because this is such a highly customizable and super unique project, you could probably do up to $45 or $50. I just don't know like what you're, you know, kind of shop around and see what people are doing for similar classes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but I had, you know, people that I knew coming and stuff. And so I really, for me, it was more about teaching them something that they could also teach in a workshop, and, you know, having some friend time. So it was more just about, I was really just looking to kind of cover my costs. Okay. But it would also be a fun, you know, like if you've got, if you've got a group of friends or girlfriends who want to do a girls' night or something, that would be a fun. It would be super fun to do. Okay. So But this is probably one of my favorite summer projects. And so I'm sure next summer, whenever we have our spring papers next year, I'm sure I'll be doing another one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this as well. Oof. All tangled up in there. All right, I'm going to dry this. And then we're going to move on to the back part. I will say that you really should use 100% cotton. I would not try to do this with a synthetic. This product does not work very well with synthetic fabrics. It works best on natural fabric. 100% cotton is ideal. You can get the hats at Hobby Lobby. And be careful if you do go to Hobby Lobby, just be careful because they have several that are synthetic. And then they have this one, which is 100% cotton. They all look alike. So read the label. Christina, don't be sorry. I can share the link with you after. I don't have it right on me at the moment, but I can share the link with you after. If you search on Google or on Amazon for baseball cap hard insert, you should find it. Oh, so let's switch over here to the back. All right, so on the back, we're going to be doing these two. So I'm going to be doing this one here, this one here, and then this one here. And we'll see how well my cutting was here. I think this one looks pretty good. This template was a little challenging to get right. Okay, so we'll have to play. Well, it depends. So again, because I sort of worked around, I think I used 4 different rice papers, but it's because I was trying to pick out around the images that I wanted. So like you probably 2 A4s would do it if it was like some sort of pattern or you weren't trying to be particular about your, what you capture in the template, you know what I'm saying? But I used 4 different ones because I was trying to cut out pieces that worked, like for example, a seahorse or, some shells or something. Does that make sense? All right, so this one's going a little over. and I still have scraps left. So this is actually a pretty good project. Like if you have scraps, this is a really good, this project really lends itself to scraps, because then you can sort of pick out, you know, little focal points or background images from scraps that you might have. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. Okay, so I have a little too much here. And I'm not going to try to trim that while it's wet. I'm going to trim it after. But I've got that pretty well on there. Let me go ahead and do this side. Hey, Christina. All right. All right. So let's get this one on here. I think, oh, the name of this paper, by the way, I just remembered, it's called Floral Cascade. Floral Cascade, and it's from Andy Skinner. And I really liked the pattern on it because it went so well with both sets of nautical or beach themed papers that I did. So it really complemented both of those collections from last year and the year before, from this year and last year. Okay. All right, so let's get this glued down. I would definitely recommend, if you did decide that you wanted to teach this as a class, I recommend practicing it a few times, because there are some, you know, it can be a little bit of tricky to get your shapes lined up, to figure out exactly how much product you're using. There are some nuances that you sort of want to work out ahead of time. Like, for example, I had a lady in my class, she was using way too much. She was using way too much product and then touching it with her hands and then having problems getting it to stick down. And so just being able to kind of troubleshoot what could go wrong is helpful if you work it out in advance. Okay, so there we go. I think I'm pretty good and sealed down. And then here, right here, I think I'm going to use this one. This is I actually was going to let y'all decide what we do here. So that's one option. The other option would be to use this paper. This is sea spray. So we could use this one with the stars, or we could use the Floral Cascade. So the options are number 1 with the stars, and I would actually lay that out this way. So the stars kind of at the end. So option 1, or option 2. And you guys can decide what we do here. So option 1 is sea spray, or option 2 is Floral Cascade, which I do have some Floral Cascade in the hat. Everybody's saying number 2. Okay, I'm with you. Cindy says 1. Cindy, you're my Lone Ranger. Oh, Elizabeth says 1. So I got 3 votes for 2, 2 votes for 1. All right. Okay, so we're going with number 2, you guys. Let me open this one up here. So I'm going to wait. So here I have a little bit that's hanging over. I'm going to wait till that fully dries, and then I'll trim that with a pair of small scissors, you guys. And then I'll probably take some glue and put that back down. But I wanted to show you because I don't want you to worry about that. Like, you know, I don't want you to be like, oh, what is she going to leave that strip there? No, I mean, there's always some touch up that I do at the end of projects and stuff, sometimes that you don't necessarily see. So like this, I would trim that up and fix it. But it's too wet for me to try to cut it right now. Okay. All right, so I think we're good on that one. And then I'm going to come down here with, just take a fresh brush, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do this cap. So this one, I just sort of traced it out with my fingers and then cut it out. So we will start with this side. And I'll get that on there really well. Make sure it's nice and flat on there. And then come over and get this side glued down. And we'll come over here and get that on there really well. Okay, that looks pretty good. And again, I can trim off anything here that I don't like, or I can sort of seal it down. You can also do another, you know, another design on the bottom. So I could actually take that sea spray and put it on the bottom of this, which I probably will do. Okay. So that looks pretty good. All right. So now we start our touch up. Okay. So we are going to put a fair amount of trim work on here, like some of these, some of this little ribbon trim we're going to put on here. I have this one too. We can decide which ones we want to use, but I've got a couple different options. I kind of like this one because it's like got some, it's got a little bit of iridescent to it, and it's sort of like a little wave. So this one's kind of fun, like a little wave kind of iridescent trim. So it's sort of like that. Where's to have at your class? Were they all the same? I sort of picked out a few options, Christina, of like things that might work well together. And I gave them a limited combination selection to choose from. I didn't let them pick from every single thing that was in the shop. I gave them options. Okay, so I've got the new fabric paints, you guys, and I'm going to just sort of, I've got some areas that I kind of need to touch up and blend out. So I'm going to do that with the fabric paint. I've got all my blues out here on the table, and we're going to just sort of figure out as we go what we need to do, what we need to fix. I'm going to get a small paintbrush. Here's one. So like here, for example, I need kind of a darker blue. So I'm going to get my blue and I'm going to mix this with a little bit of black. And try to kind of match that up a little bit. And I don't have to do a lot, you guys, because again, I am going to use some trim that's going to really mask a lot of the flaws. But what I'm trying to do is just kind of patch in any obvious holes and make it sort of look cohesive. I have some there. I'm going to do the same color on the top. So I'm going to paint the top of this little circle part. Make that all one color. And sometimes when you're doing something like this, it's the surprising combination that's something you might not normally put together that kind of makes it work, which is why I said it would be, in my opinion, it would be really fun to use scraps with this project, because then you might get combinations you would have never thought of before. So I do like the idea of using scraps for this. We need a lot more white. Yes, I know, I just polluted my white. Let me scoop that out with a little palette knife. How about that? All right. I want a pretty light green here. So you can either paint it and leave it, or if you want to add the trim, I find that I didn't add trim on my first one, but Robin was adding trim to hers when we did it live together. And I really liked the way hers was looking with the trim. So I added trim to mine and I really liked it. So I think the trim kind of is going to hide a lot of imperfections too. But on the first two that I did, I only used paint. And it was fine. But I like the lace and the ribbon added to it. I think it just adds a little something. Yeah, I do too. But I am sort of painting it underneath so that when I add that trim, it doesn't look like I'm trying to hide something. You know what I'm saying? Plus we got some little areas down here at the bottom that need a little TLC. Okay. All right. And then this color here, it looks like it could be a mix of this blue, maybe a little bit of, there we go. And I'll kind of come around here. It's sort of just like blending any other mixed media project. I'm using what I have to blend it all out. And here we can paint this. Let's paint this one this color. You could also just decoupage this strip. That's fine too. I think that looks pretty good. One little area here. I am reasonably satisfied. Okay. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. Synthetic blend. Christina, you want 100% cotton. You don't want synthetic. You want 100% cotton. It works best on cotton. I have had people say that it worked fine on synthetic, but sometimes they don't. So just be mindful that you could run into a snag. Okay, let me grab. I'm gonna grab. Oh, gotcha. Okay, got it. You cut it for to make a pattern. Gotcha. Okay, that's smart. There you go. I was actually thinking about maybe doing like a PDF with the shape, but then I was thinking because not all hats are created equal. So I didn't know if the shape would sort of work across all the variations of hats out there. All right, So I am going to dry one more time. Thank you, Sue. Hi, Teresa. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys again. I'm gonna let you decide the trim. Do we want? Here's my options. Do we want number one? We could do number one. We could do that everywhere. This is number one. We could do number two. We could do number two everywhere, or we could sort of mix them up. So option one is this trim. It's got a little bit of like iridescent and it's sort of got a little wave to it, which is really cute. Then we have option two, which is kind of a simple but cool one. And then we have option three would be mixing them, kind of matching them. So Jill says she likes the rickrack, which is option number one. And then this is what it would look like. I think that would look pretty cool. I'm kind of leaning toward this one, you guys. I think I'm gonna do this one. I know we're trying to give you a vote, but I think this one actually works better, and it does have a little bit of iridescence to it. So I think this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the waves because it sort of fits with the hat better, I think. All right, so let's get our hot glue gun. It is turned on and ready. Let me find my glue sticks. Here they are. All right. So I'm going to cut this. Gotta find some scissors. Okay, scissors. If I were scissors, where would I be? Okay. So let's cut this to the right width. We'll get it glued on. Okay. Now, we'll put this all the way across, just like that. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we will do the trim coming down. I got to tell you, it was kind of challenging, you guys, trying to find the right trim and accessories for this one, because they don't make a whole lot of beach themed appliques that aren't super tacky. So I really had to search high and low. And I really didn't want to put molds or anything. I wanted to kind of keep it flexible. All right, put this one down the center. Start down here. Okay, so that looks pretty good so far. Yes, there definitely should be. So that's why I sort of went with I was thinking the wave, because it kind of does lend itself to something sort of beachy. And I was actually looking for, like, what I really wanted was some embroidered starfish, you guys. I really wanted some like lace starfish. I thought that would have been amazing, but I couldn't find anything that would work. So very little in the way of coastal beach themed trimmings. All right, so let's start this one. Yes, please make them. Christina, please make some little starfish or seashell embroidery trimmings. How fun would that be? So I think that's super pretty. I'm really liking how it's coming out. If you wanted, you could even trim around the bottom there. Okay. Okay. So this looks pretty good. I am pretty happy with that, I have to say. And so what I'm going to do now, I got these little flowers. So these are just some little white flowers. And we're going to put a couple of these on there. Maybe 3. So let's stick those on there. There's 1. Here's 2. And there's the 3rd one. Okay. So that's super cute. I think the white just sort of kind of helps tie it all together. And then I have one more little surprise here. This is a little starfish from Totally Dazzled. Just so we have a little bit of bling on here. We'll see if we like it or not. So we could put that little starfish right there. And I actually think that's quite adorable. I love this. I love the starfish, you guys. So I think that is super adorable. And I'm just going to put it right in the center of that flower. I also have a smaller starfish, you guys. So let's see what we think of the smaller one. If we think we want the bigger one or the smaller one, you guys. So let me know if you want the bigger one or the smaller one. And this one I will let y'all choose. Bigger one or small one? Bigger. A couple of y'all are saying bigger. I think the small one gets a little bit lost, right? Okay. All right, well, let's do that. Let's do it. I need to, let's see. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that, you guys. I can't complain. I think that is super, super cute. I did say I was going to trim this up back here. So let's come in here. Now that this is pretty dry, we'll come in and trim this up a little bit. Okay, so I cannot complain at all about this. I think it's super cute. Let me switch over. Let's see how it looks on. There we go. So I would definitely wear this to the beach, you guys. What do you think? Would you wear it? I think it's precious. Okay, you guys. Well, happy summer. I will see you again probably in July. I will be live again tonight on my page over at Teresa Rene Art. We're going to be doing something kind of fun. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.